Coming up on Network Africa, Al-Shabaab launches a dawn attack on Kenyan soldiers in southern Somalia. Thousands line the streets of Banjul as Gambian President Adama Barrow returns home. And a top UN envoy visits South-Sudan to discuss the future of the country's peace deal. Hello and welcome to Network Africa. I'm Temitope Fagbemi. We begin today's program in the Horn of Africa, where Al-Shabaab fighters have launched an attack on a Kenyan military base in southern Somalia. The Al-Qaeda-linked group says it has killed more than 50 soldiers and seized military vehicles and weapons. But a Kenyan military spokesman says the dawn attack was repelled. The base was not overrun and scores of insurgents were killed in the fighting. A year ago, Al-Shabaab carried out a similar attack on a Kenyan base in the Somali town of El Adi. In that raid, the Islamist group said it had killed more than 100 soldiers, but the Kenyan government refused to give its casualty figures. So let's get more on this story from... Okay, it seems we're still trying to get in touch with our correspondent there. But in the meantime, Uganda's President Yoweri Museveni has told Ugandans that he's not a servant, but a political fighter. The 72-year-old was leading celebrations to mark 31 years since his National Resistance Movement Party took power in the East African nation at a Masindi Golf Club in western Uganda, added that he is not anyone's employee but a freedom fighter fighting for himself and his beliefs. He says, quote, "I'm not an employee. If anybody thinks he gave me a job, he is deceiving himself. I'm just a freedom fighter whom you thought would help you also," end of quote. Mr. Museveni won an unprecedented fifth term in disputed elections in February last year. Gambia's President Adama Barrow has returned to the country to assume power days after his predecessor Yahya Jammeh left to go into exile. President Barrow's plane touched down at Banjul Airport yesterday, where jubilant crowds waited to welcome him.
An aircraft carrying Gambian President Adama Barrow arrived in the capital Banjul on Thursday, days after his predecessor Yahya Jammeh fled into exile in Equatorial Guinea. Dressed in a long white African tunic, Barrow smiled as he stepped out of a small plane and walked down a red carpet to be greeted by hundreds of diplomats and officials lined up to welcome him. Immediately afterwards, fighter jets from the West African ECOWAS regional force passed overhead as part of the celebration.
Yeah, today I'm so glad because we are welcoming our new president, President Adama Barrow, and we are expecting that to create a lot of jobs for the youths so that the employment rate will go higher and higher. So that we say no more bad way. We sit our country and work here. That's what we need. And that we're expecting from him also.
I'm here to welcome my president. Yeah, because we are very happy to be here today, welcoming the president of the Third Republic of the Gambia, which is Adama Barrow. So today is our happiest day. We are here to enjoy, and he will be here around 4 to happy to see us as we are preparing for him and welcome him in his country back.
Barrow, a former real estate agent, won a December 1st election, but Jammeh refused to step down, forcing his opponent to be inaugurated in Senegal. Mohamed Ibn Chambers, UN Special Representative for West Africa and the Sahel, who helped negotiate Jammeh's exit, accompanied Barrow to Banjul. Jammeh's political demise is a relief to many people in the small West African country, and the UN's Chambers has promised assistance in investigating human rights abuses. A top United Nations official in South Sudan has met with President Salva Kiir
to discuss the future of the peace process in the war-torn country. Newly appointed UN Special Representative for South Sudan, David Shearer, has held senior positions within the United Nations, including serving as the Secretary General's Deputy Special Representative, Resident Coordinator and Humanitarian Coordinator for the UN Assistance Mission for Iraq.
I met with President Kiir. It was a very warm and welcoming meeting. I asked really about the countryside, about his aspirations and plans for the future, and particularly for the peace process. He went into some great detail about that, which I appreciated. As somebody who's coming in new, I come in with a very open mind, and so I was pleased to speak to the President and hear what he had to say.
The International Criminal Court's prosecutor has voiced hope that U.S. President Donald Trump will not withdraw its backing, even as she called on supporters to rally to its cause to counter rising nationalism. While the United States does not directly fund the ICC, Fatou Bensouda says losing U.S. cooperation to capture indictees will deal a blow to the court that depends on governments that have no enforcement powers of their own. The Trump administration is preparing executive orders to reduce the U.S. role in international organizations, including the ICC. The United States is not a member of the ICC, but has helped it pursue war criminals by extending its Rewards for Justice program, under which it pays for information leading to the arrest of suspects to cover ICC indictees.
It was significant to have U.S. cooperation. As I said, I'm just hoping that this will continue, but I cannot now speculate or look into the future that this is how it's going to turn out. We will see what happens. When increasingly international criminal justice is being challenged, it is this moment that the court needs its supporters, its states parties, to ensure that the court is well funded to be able to carry out the work that it is meant to do, to be effective, to be able to bring out results, to show that this court was set up to do this important work of ending impunity, of bringing accountability for atrocity crimes, and that it has the resources to be able to do it. This is critical for the court's existence.